This is a bunny made of sand. Check this out. That's all sand. And all of this. This is insane.
I apologize for this in advance, but like, okay, we got this statue here and it looks kind of neat, right? Like you got the dragon dude and he's got like this like kind of happy looking happy, right? And then there's this dude in the back here. What's this guy up to? And if you spin around here and then you look at this guy's posture and think about the look on that dragon's face, kind of looks like maybe that guy is giving the beans to this dragon. And I really apologize to everybody I just offended. As you may know, I spent the last few days in Kyoto alone, and then I've come to Tottori from Kyoto, and Katie has joined me in Tottori. And she just arrived on a night bus, and that's Katie, fresh off the night bus. Let's see how she's doing. How was your bus ride, dude?
It was pretty good. I did a lot of sleeping. I slept a lot.
Did you?
More than normal.
That's actually kind of a
Yeah,
surprise.
that's really surprising and it's really nice. This was a good ride.
So you refreshed?
Yes. It's as refreshed as one can be sleeping, sitting up.
Are we going to pick up the car around here?
Yes, it's somewhere around here.
What time? Can we pick it up now?
We can go over there now. It's set for 10.
Okay, what time is it right now? 9:30?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we might get 15 extra minutes of car.
I'm going to tell you about my breakfast. Okay, so I've sort of become like a Japanese toast breakfast connoisseur. We made a video about Japanese toasts a while ago on Asakusa.
It seems pretty simplified, but it's also kind of sophisticated at the same time. There
Yes.
needs to be that simple yet sophisticatedness to it. So
But it's
I
not
don't know
hard.
what they're doing wrong here.
Yeah, so anyway, one of the things, Tottori is way out in the countryside, basically. When you talk to people about Tottori, they hear that that's like the most remote things. Like that word has got that vibe to people in Japan, to the point of where I think until very recently, it was the only prefecture in Japan that didn't have a Starbucks.
Oh.
So I think I haven't looked it up, but I think they recently or will get a Starbucks soon.
There's not a Starbucks here.
Yeah. I mean, it's really strange for Japan. So there's this place called Sunaba Coffee in the Tottori area that is kind of like their Starbucks. It's like their local thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I found this out and I was like, okay, I want to try them out. So I looked it up and they have a toast morning set, just like a lot of different coffee places do and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to roll over there. I'm going to get me my toast morning set, okay? And first off, the vibe of the place is like, I don't know how to say this, but like if you go into like you're slowly drifting down.
The camera is heavy, Eric.
It's gonna be, look it up here. If you go in, I don't know how to explain it, but the vibe is bad. There's like J-pop like blaring, and the girl is fine, but it's obvious they don't really care about what they have. And I'm gonna show you some pictures, and I'll put the pictures up on the internet too, for people to see on the video. So I'll scoot over so I can put the pictures here. So we gotta be framed, yeah, like that. Okay, so this was the menu, okay?
Okay, menu looks nice.
But it's on a tablet, which is a little kind of like, you know what I mean? And this is their morning set. That's what I was gonna order, and that's what I did order, okay? That is what came out instead of bread.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're rolls, and they were cold.
So you got airline food?
Yes, it was bad airline food, and the egg was overboiled. Like, it wouldn't come apart. It did that thing, you know what I mean?
It's not overboiled, it's just not boiled correctly.
Yeah, whatever it is, they did it wrong. They got their numbers wrong.
They didn't do the proper time or put the salt in, or they did it wrong.
So, like...
And it looks like you're in a hotel.
Yeah, and it felt like, that's a good way of putting it. It was just,
So you're in a hotel in the sky getting toast that turns out to be rolls. This is bad.
It was the worst morning set I've ever had, and I'm going to leave a gnarly review.
Wow. I had French toast on the bus.
It's probably better than one.
It was way better than that.
Oh, you had it from like a convenience.
Yeah.
Ah. This is a promising start. We've recently had discussions about how nudie looking statues are kind of turning you off and bugging you. How do you feel about her?
Just a buff.
She looks like a badass. Badass with bunnies.
Yeah. Hold on.
Do you know who Casey Neistat is?
Yeah.
That's, you got that thing going on now with the...
He's just biting on my dad style. This is dad style. Yeah. We got the car, and we're at Tottori. And now, we're going to the dunes!
I have some news.
Is it about the dunes? Did they take away the dunes?
I've named the car.
Is it dunes?
No. That's a pretty good name though. But I've decided to call the car Grr Sport.
Grr Sport? Is it, what kind of grr are we talking here?
Like a grr.
Look at this ferocious beast of a smart car. And then we go over here to this lovely diagram. Same ferocious smart car on the beach, in the water, about to bathe. Who knows what's
it's
going
a shark.
on
Of course it can go in the water.
Yeah, but this car cannot drive on the dunes. So don't expect too much. You're gonna take this one out on the street. I don't understand why it's here. Like, it's at the sand dune situation, and it can't go in the sand dunes. Who's getting this?
The same suckers that paid 500 yen for parking when there's free parking everywhere. That's us.
Well, I thought I should at least give 500 yen to the dunes. If you want the dunes to continue, you need to give them some money.
You think the dunes are going away?
The dunes need support. You ready for the dunes? Hold on, we got sucked into the information center, so we haven't gotten to the dunes yet. But we watched a really cool video that was in like a theater that it isn't like fully immersive, but the video actually comes onto the floor, and they did a very good job with wanting to show you what is happening at the dunes. But that left us still wondering, how are the dunes here? What's going on with that? Got a little diagram here. There are like deposits of granite. I want to say it's granite, but I could not. Granitic? It said granitic over there, and I thought granitic's not a word, and it probably is. Smarter people than me are writing this stuff on the walls. So granitic deposits are coming down from the mountains, down the river, into the ocean here, and the rocks are then being beaten against things down in the water, and then they're being deposited over here in the sand dunes, and also to a beach that's over to the east. But we're mainly fascinated with the sand dunes because there's sand dunes in Japan? That's crazy.
Is that direction east for sure?
It's east of my direct. Why do I ever use directions in this? Ever?
I honestly don't know.
To be north, it has to be turned upside down, and then that would be west. Dang it! This is some hardcore Eric stuff. Eric has decided that it's a good idea to wear sandals out on the sand dunes and not get sand in your shoes.
They're called sandals, Katie.
Yeah, true.
We looking good.
We are looking strange.
I'm gonna walk out of that area without a set of shoes full of sand, so I'm sorry. Like, this is intelligent.
But your feet are gonna be covered in sand.
Yeah, I know. There's a foot bath over there. You can wash them off.
It's gonna be cold.
Oh, it's gonna be cold, baby.
Aww. That took about 2 seconds to be fully impressed. We came over the crest of the hill, and then bam, you are in the desert. It is strikingly weird. And I really just feel like somebody dumped a whole bunch of sand here. Like, this is weird. It shouldn't be here.
Like, besides the river. It's
yes.
like a person.
Yes. I'm suspicious of the river as well. I don't know. But it's bizarre. It's strange. It's weird. It's massive. And Very cool. Can't wait to walk around in this. But also, in the far distance, you can see a mountain. And spoiler alert, that's day 3 of the Tottori trip. It looks really big, it looks very encompassing, but there's about a 60-minute walk that you can take around the dunes. And in that time, you'll see different formations that are happening within the dunes because certain areas are treated different ways by the wind. The first one that we're coming across, they call it the wind ripple. And it just makes a little ripple in the sand. And we walked over here and I thought, well, maybe it's just not happening right now or something. And then bam, it was right in front of us.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, can different seasons and stuff create different things?
Yeah, and if the wind changes it in one direction, is it not there for a day or two or something like that, you know? This all seems like stuff we don't understand.
We are up on Umanose, which is the horse's back. And I'm just going to assume that it's like being named geographically. Like, it looks kind of like the horse's back. You know what I mean?
Geographically?
Like the shape of it or whatever. It's like, there's not an actual horse here.
Contextually, I might go with contextually, but geographically, I don't think that's the word we're looking for here. But yeah, contextually, it looks like a pony.
So, you know those things that explain different ecosystems, and it's like a map, like a cartoon map that they draw, and it's like, this is like a forest and this is an ocean area, but they use like the more sciencey words.
Tundra.
Yeah, tundra, the tundra. And then this is like the desert, and then this is not a wadi. What are they called in English?
Oasis.
Oasis. I feel like we're looking at one of those right now because behind us we got an ocean and we're standing in a desert, and I can see forests.
And the mountain is the tundra.
And yeah, the mountain has got like snow on it, and it looks like the Matterhorn or something from a distance. And then we've got the
forest over there. Yes, you're right. We're in one of them.
And then
wow.
There's like down here, there's a little oasis. I really feel like I'm looking at one of those cartoon maps right now.
We're in the cartoon map. I'm glad you painted that for me. This is awesome. Are we some dumbasses or what? What is going on here? Why has he decided to go down the steepest part of the dune? I am lost.
You got this. You can do it.
I can walk over there. Look at his friend. Just sitting there like, I don't know about this, Takeshi.
He's being peer pressured hardcore.
Watch out there. Oh, it looks like a rock, but it's sand.
Well, that's really strange.
Wow. Can sand make rocks?
I think it's the opposite.
Oh, yeah. Watch this. Squish. I destroyed a rock. I think that everybody does this, but when it's like fall time or like later in the year and you see like a leaf that's on the ground and you're coming up to it, you're just walking and you're thinking about how crunchy is that leaf. And you get really excited and you put your foot on it and then you crunch into it. If it's crunchy, it's a really exciting time. If it's not crunchy, it's not that great. But this is similar to that, and it's always great because you already know it's gonna crumble beneath your feet. So you're not having that crunch gamble.
Today is December 6th, and I'm feeling pretty blessed about the weather that we're getting from this particular experience. Because it's not hot, because this would be terrible if it was really hot. There was a sign inside like the museum thing that said it can get like 50 degrees, like the surface, which is like, that's too hot, y'all.
Yeah.
And also you could be in situations where it's really cold. There is sometimes snow on these dunes, which might be a cool thing to see, but it wouldn't be a great thing to trample across, like muddy, like sandy snow.
I came for the snow, or I came for the sand, not the snow. I was seeing pictures of that and I would have been disappointed.
It would be cool to see it, but not... Only if you like lived in the area and you know what I mean, you had access to it like other times. And then the most important one that Katie pointed out that we're not having to contend with is wind. It's no wind, zero.
There's zero wind.
There's zero wind, and this would be really, really gnarly if it was really windy because you'd get sand all up in your face and like all over your gear and everything. So if you're going to come, like December 6th every year, I think is probably the year to aim for, or the date to aim for. because on December 6th, the weather here is perfect.
Some person has come out here and declared, you being that person, that on the one day, December 6th, that you've been
I've
here.
never been here on a December 6th where the weather sucked.
True.
Never.
It is a certainty based on one thing. I'm trying to find some volcanic ash. It's out here. they noted it on the map. But it is not a recommend, so
Ooh.
yeah.
Maybe take a pass.
No, I'm gonna walk over there. Turns out all these rocks I've been crushing are a formation of sand that's called a sand spout. We don't fully understand how it's formed because the translation in here is not very good, but it involves fine silted sand being on top of other sand. And that's all we know. And I'm gonna crush some more of them and probably feel a little bad about it because it'll happen again, right?
It seems like when it was steeper, they were bigger. And it's kind of leveling out now. They become a little smaller. So that's a thing that's happened. That's additional information. I don't know why.
We've just sussed out.
Some people might be concerned walking around out here in the desert that you're going to like see a mirage of a mermaid or something and wander in that direction and get lost forever and then not have any food. But don't worry about us. I came prepared. I got some gummy and some emergency peanuts. This not only is going to keep us alive, but we're not going to have to eat calorie mate, which is probably the only thing we could find out here since it's made of sand. Other thing of note is that there's these poles that are going to help you from getting distracted and lost because they've got a map with a grid system on top of it that explains kind of where you are at. And this is probably the best addressing system I've ever seen in Japan because it actually makes logical sense. So whatever they're doing out here, there's no houses or anything. The mailman doesn't have to deliver here. But if you need to find specific coordinates or whatever, or maybe if you get lost or something and you have to call the authorities, you can be like, I'm at J10. Please come pick me up. And then the helicopter come and take you out. And they probably have calorie mate on board for people that are dying of hunger. But
they just put the sand in your mouth directly.
Yeah, you could just eat the sand. It's a good point. But yeah, this is a cool marker system. They're actually a little hard to see from a distance. Like we were like, well, okay, what is that? And then like walking, I'm seeing another one now. Maybe they're easier to see. There's another one there. Maybe they're easier to see than I think.
They're the same color as the sand, dude.
They are.
It could be any other color.
They could, if they had made them like bright orange or something, it might have killed the ambiance though. You know what I mean? Like, just have like this like a traffic cone or something. That'd be no good. I think that they've done the right thing. And I mean, realistically, you're not really going to get lost out here because I mean, like the ocean is that way and the not ocean is that way. You walk 5 minutes and you're safe. We've encountered some water a couple days ago in this area. I believe it rained because when I arrived in Tottori yesterday, the ground was wet. So I don't know if this is always flowing through the sand like this, but at the moment it is. And I guess, like, you know, all the water gets collected and then soaks down and then goes out. I don't think this is like a spring coming up out of the ground. My guess would be that this is rainwater. So it's not going to be like at that wadi we saw in Oman. You could like dig into the ground and like spring water would come up and then fill up this beautiful wadi. And this rock is also excreting water. And you can see it, just look at this. It's just soaking out of the ground. This literally is just coming out of the sand. If I dig it back, more comes out. It's not the same type of thing. This to me, it feels more like a rainwater type. And it just kind of goes down into a small area and then just disappears back into the sand. So the question that I have is, why is it coming out here and then going back down, like into the ground? It's like almost like a reverse tunnel in a way, where it's been underground and then it's reversed up into the not underground, the above ground, and then going back underneath. So I wonder if there's like a different geological structure or something underneath. Like I use the word geological for words I don't know what they actually mean. I don't know the real word. So it makes me wonder what's happening here.
There's actual vegetation out here in the sand dunes and the deserty sand dunes out here. And we just noticed that there are some like very slender pieces of grass that are just poking out of the ground. And when the wind decides to whip them around, they make a circular indentation in the sand below them. It's really unreal looking.
It's like crop circles, but not made by aliens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. So we're looking for volcanic ash, that is exposed here. And we found this strange thing that kind of is like a gradient of the rainbow. Like it starts with a very kind of dark, kind of purpley red here and then goes down into a green at the edge. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but it looks really cool. Regardless of what it is, it's not sand.
When I was thinking of like volcanic ash, I was thinking of something that would be loose rather than something that would be compounded like a rock and hard, but I guess it could be like this.
So,
and I mean, it says it's from like 55,000 years ago. So that would probably not be loose.
Yeah, it probably would have floated away. Nonetheless, whatever it is, it's very cool.
When you think of a desert, you think of like nothing. Like the absence of stuff. But this is very different than that. There's a lot. Like when you get down and like look at like little things and stuff, I think we might be coming up to an area.
This is a very dead end.
We are not going to be able to do this.
Oh man.
It's like, it's hard to show. Like this is just basically straight down. We have come to the edge of the road there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go this way. So a lot of times you think like deserts don't have anything, like arid nothingness.
Yeah.
But if you zoom down to like a certain level or whatever, you start finding things even when there's tons of nothing. And in this case, just because, and I don't know, I don't think all deserts, we've been to other deserts and I've never seen so much diversity in an area that is so like small. I think we can go down here now.
Yeah, this looks a lot less
treacherous,
scary.
And it's just the compactness of it, but it's still nice and spread out, is really captivating. This is one of the coolest things I've seen in Japan, and as far as I know, this is the only place in Japan that has anything that's even remotely like this.
Yeah, nobody's ever said sand dune and not said Tottori.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I was actually a little concerned that it would just be a couple of little boring lumps or whatever, but it's incredibly interesting.
It's huge, and I'm sitting here like, man, I didn't get to see all the stuff I want, but I'm real hungry now. So,
well, we got those gummies. There's only one left.
Didn't you just open them like 3 minutes ago?
Yeah, do you want it? It's
no,
great.
you can have it.
Come on, man, you good? You got the emergency peanuts, or are you gonna have to call the helicopter for the calorie mate?
I don't like that grape smell. Something is turning my stomach about it right now.
I don't know. I'll eat the last one. I'm feeling a little weird having spoken with even a little bit of authority about where that water was coming from.
Geological formations.
Yeah, about geological where that water was coming from. Because I really don't have an idea. It could be coming from a spring. And there's another area that has got more greenery around it that has more vigorous flow of water. It's not like, terrifyingly vigorous. It's still a trickle, but it's more of a trickle that goes down into a little pond area that, based on pictures that we've seen, looks like it can fill up to different levels. It seems kind of low right now.
Yeah, a bit of a puddle at the moment.
To me, again, because that is varying in height, that would mean rainwater, right? Because if it was a consistent source from underneath the earth, it wouldn't change with like different environmental factors, right? Am I crazy?
But the water that's underneath the earth also comes from the rain.
Yeah. Dang it. Stupid water. Our pamphlet, they've only given us, or I guess we only took the one that was in English, and the translations on it are not informative. And there's areas out here that they haven't covered yet on the pamphlet at all.
And they really didn't get into this trickle that I'm very, very interested in.
Yeah. Where's all this water coming from? But yeah, I think we're headed out now, at least out of the dunes area.
Out's a real long way away, dude. It is uphill the entire way.
So it's like 5-10 minutes, we'll be okay.
I think that's true, but damn.
But yeah, I just want to like reiterate, this is one of the coolest things I've seen in Japan, like especially as far as like natural things go. This is like just the uniqueness of it makes coming all the way out to Tottori. I'm already like, yeah, this was worth it. Like, we just started the trip, and I'm like, yep,
yeah, that was one of the major reasons that I thought to myself, well, we could go and hit it on the way back. I was like, no, that's the thing you're going there for. You go directly there.
Yeah, and plus, it's December 6th, so we were guaranteed good weather.
Yeah, true. The lure is true.
We are up on Ume. It is lunchtime, and hiking around those dunes built up a hunger. So these dunes are a tourist trap, basically, but a good one. And around the dunes is built up like touristy type of places, and we have come to a touristy type of place for lunch. It's basically a cafeteria.
Sakyu Center, yeah. It's just a cafeteria at an information omiyage type center.
And we had aimed to go to a place that was like the place to go in this area, and they have like special crab during the winter time and stuff, but they close at 1:30.
And they also had a sign on the outside. We went there a little bit before 1:30, and it just said, "We're sold out of everything."
So we ended up at the visitor center instead, and they have got crab on the menu, so we figured, heck, we'll give it a go. And it's a piece of crab on rice with some egg in between the two. So is kind of what I would explain it as. And we actually, this is rare, we got the same thing. So what I want to do is we can try it at the same time. We don't ever get to do that, because usually we order the, you throw it in her lap. We usually don't have the same meal. I'm a little concerned that this is going to be a bit overwhelming on the fishiness for me, but I do like crab, so.
You shouldn't have done that.
It's strong, but it's the crabby fishy smell. I don't know. Are you just going to go one piece of crab?
I'm going to go one piece of crab, and I'm going to first off say that the display out there is very different than what you see in here.
The crab is good. Crab is good though, like as a general rule.
And I've had imitation crab for like the last 15 years. So, wow, we're really.
But yeah, this is the kind of place like you order from a vending machine, and when you're at a ramen joint, that's okay. But if you're at like the visitor center, the vending machine is not indicative of a good meal. Usually, I'm worried about that. How are the other ingredients? Is there crab meat in the egg? It looks like there is. Yeah.
I think you're gonna struggle.
I'm not gonna struggle. I just don't love it. And like for the record, like I famously don't really like fishy food. Some people interpret that as like that I don't like any seafood, and that's not accurate. I'm just picky about it.
Yeah, there's definitely seafood that you like. I'm gonna say this is subpar.
Yeah,
but it's food.
This is exactly what I expected to get from where we ended up. The real talk here is there isn't a whole lot else to eat in this area. A lot of it seemed to be kind of closed down. Maybe it's season or whatever, and that one place was completely sold out. So, in the spirit of not ending up eating Calorie Mate,
yes,
this is what we've decided.
He was like, "Okay, then let's just go to the museum," and I was like, "No, we got to eat first. It's important to eat first. I don't want to just sit there and be angry at sand."
I've got a belly full of grape jellies, man. I'm good.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
just didn't eat. You got those peanuts.
You just didn't eat that one I offered you. Who's tired of hearing about sand? We were not at all. So we came to a museum about sand. Check this out. Dude, this is exceptional.
Yeah, when I think of like sand sculpture things, or I think of like trick art museums and like garbage that, like that you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, okay, this is in like this little kitschy touristy area, and it's gonna be lame, and it's gonna be like kids running around yelling and like all this nonsense or whatever.
And everybody's trying to get a photo, and it's just like you can't really relax and enjoy what's happening.
It is Monday, of course, which is probably helping us a little bit that there isn't like a million tourists here, but taking all that out, aside from the atmosphere being spectacular, the artwork that is on display is incredible.
It's stunning from the moment you walk into the room to now we are one floor above, and you're still seeing like intricate details that you can't imagine somebody decided to do for every little bit of a sand sculpture. It's incredible.
The theme is stuff that's like from the Czech Republic, and I think all of it is from the Czech Republic,
Czech
Slovakia.
And Slovakia.
Yeah.
And a lot of it wraps around stories that are at the heart of people that live in Prague and things like that.
Yeah, things that are like the lore of the city of Prague and different stories that would be famous to people that are familiar with the history of Prague. A lot of them, like Katie is saying, should display like a story or some sort of event, and some of them are just like a dude, like here's a famous dude. But it's a good mixture of the both. It's not just like portraits of a bunch of people that you may not be familiar with. You can read these little placards and they give you in-depth information about what you're looking at. So even if you're not particularly familiar with the history of that area, you can take away what you're looking at. Like there was like a dude that had been preaching and he had upset the church and they ended up burning him at the stake. And there was this scene of him preaching, and then in the same scene as you looked up, him being burned at the stake, and like all the smoke between the two things.
Yeah, and then there was that three-headed dragon, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, where's the first head? There's the second head. The third head's on the ground. It's already been destroyed by the night. And it was just like, wow, that told me so much. And I just walked around the thing. It was really cool. They've done a great job at capturing moments and a huge job at capturing texture.
There's expression in people's faces, and it's like undeniable. You can feel what these people are looking like.
Sometimes I'm standing next to them and I'm just like, wow, that feels too real.
They've also got information about on the placard about who made them, and it seems like all of the people who made these particular sculptures are foreigners.
Yes.
I noticed a bunch of people from Europe, but there were some Canadians, some Americans as well on the thing. So I guess they're just like bringing people in when they're going to have a new exhibition. They get the proper artists together to do this thing, and then they roll it all out. I'm blown away. This was 600 yen to get into. It was like completely,
they could have charged more,
it. Yeah.
and I would have gone, yep, that was worth 1,000 yen.
Yeah. If I paid 1,000 yen, I'd be like, yeah, this is fine. When we first came in, there was a block that it showed how they set the sand before it gets sculpted. So they build these like stairs basically, and then pack them sand into it, and then I guess they let it set so that the sand becomes the right consistency for the carving or whatever.
Yeah, it's almost like archaeology meets art, you know, because like archaeologists are moving the sand around and brushing it off and doing it, and this is using that skill and then making it long-lasting in an art way.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of geology going on here.
And the geography and so forth.
But yeah, I'm really glad we came here. I'm glad it wasn't like laying in kitschy. And I think this might be the end of our visit here to the sand dunes area. Am I right about that? We spent hours here. It's been probably 4 or 5 hours.
And I could say we could probably have spent more time. If we had met up earlier this morning, maybe we would have spent more time over at the dunes. And I think the time we spent in this little area is, I could stay longer if I had nothing to do.
I read all the plaques. I'm good. You know?
I could stare at texture for a little while.
Yeah. But yeah, this area is definitely not to be ignored. Like the not only this museum the museum, I guess, is that the right word? Exhibition. But also the dunes and everything. The only thing that I found to be kind of a bummer about this stop today was the lunch was kind of like middle of the road, tolerable.
Maybe food in Tottori will get better.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Coming from the sand dunes, we had the choice of going to Pretty Waters or Interesting Trains. Eric chose Pretty Waters. Look at this interesting train! We just happened to come to a train station to get some Fika. It's in the box. And we have seen some interesting trains already. I don't know if Tottori is known for that, but there's like a whole page in the guidebook that's like, look at these trains that only have one car. Amazing. I want to see like little local trains that are really making the area work. This has more than one car, but still is very unusual coming from Tokyo.
There's 2 cars there.
It has more than one.
Turn around, look.
It has more than one. There's 2.
Hold on a second. Back up.
Who dat? Oh, Eric, it's only got one car. Eric, it's only got one car. I got swarmed by people. Felt weird not wearing my mask, and then a car went. Oh my God! It was a great moment.
Speaking of cool trains, this is just outside the train station, and I believe this train station is called Iwami. And it is got a really cutesy small town feel, like really small, like village, like very small village town feel. And like Katie said, the only thing that drove us over here was the Fika that we'll show you in a minute. But when we pulled in and we parked right next to this thing. And this is a snow removal train. And you can see the front blades and everything are being used to like move the snow out of the way. And on the back end of it, it has something that looks like a thing that can pick the snow and like blow it up like a snow blower system. The two trains that we just saw that were over there that like we kind of got exciting about, those are both diesel powered trains. They haven't run power lines up here. There's not enough demand, I'm assuming, for that type of infrastructure to be installed. So they're still running on diesel, but it's still, I don't know, man, these little trains, they're really cool. Even if it's still running on dinosaur bones, it's still like kind of a cool thing to see. And it's really neat because when we were there, the timing that we happened to have was school has just let out. So there was a whole bunch of kids that were coming from like high school, junior high school age kids coming, getting on the train and then probably heading on their way home. Good news, you got stupid looking sweets.
I call them googly poofs. And we went into the store and the googly poofs were not on display. So we had to specifically ask for the googly poofs. And he said, it'll take me about 10 minutes to make 2 googly poofs. So we waited 10 minutes and he came out and showed them to us. Like, this is what I made. Yes, sir, that is well-crafted googly poof. A lot of sugois were thrown around, and now we have our Fika. It's an eclair on the inside, so a pastry with like some custard cream. It's custard and cream on the inside, and chocolate and poofs.
This was made at like a confectionery store, not like a bakery, but like a cake shop. Like he does like custom birthday cakes, and I saw some advertisements in there for wedding cakes and things like that.
Oh,
Christmas cakes. And he also does googly poofs.
Yes.
Let's give you guys one more.
That's the bread and butter.
Oh, it opens up? What is this? I didn't realize that was going to happen.
The foreigners love the googly poofs.
Yeah, this is great. Oh, all right.
So that's what's on the inside.
Oh, it actually looks, even though it looks really nice, even though it's had a top put on it. You know what I mean? Wow. And it looks like there's like a little bit of custard or something on the inside.
Shut up and eat me.
Okay. What's this too? Stupid sweets?
Stupid sweets.
All right, I'm getting in. He's got ears.
I don't think Fika is going to be any
He's
funnier.
got little ears on this side.
What's that you say? I like that he's got like a 1950s gangster.
The ear fell. Oh, it's good. He came out. You had 2,000 yen in your hand. And the dude was like, it's 460 yen. And he looked at your bills. And he was like, just one bill.
Just one bill. I was like, thanks, guy.
I'm surprised this was 460 yen for both of them. How is he making money? Like, and then like a box and like, you know what I mean? There's a little refrigeration packet in here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. Maybe it's just that land in Iwami is really probably not that expensive. It's a good mixture of custard and like cream and chocolate and everything. I mean, this is a high class Fika. This is good. This is a good Fika. It's not just some like roadside trash.
And that's what you're always searching for. A reasonably priced googly poof.
It's 4:30 in Japan, so that means it's getting dark. And we are kind of we were chasing sort of the sun, but we're also sort of chasing a view of the ocean. And we ended up getting a detour because a road was closed and ended up in a little fishing village where there were some older people and they were like packaging up ika, which is squid. And so they're drying it out in some cases. In other cases, they were wrapping it up and packaging it fresh. And they have all these boats down there that I'm intended to make a video of, but I forgot. And they've got these huge lamps on them, which makes me think that they're going out and fishing at nighttime. So we left that little village chasing the sunset again. And where we have landed is not where we're gonna get to see a sunset, because we realized we can see a sunset anywhere, but we don't get the opportunity to see this beautiful little bay that exists here and here only. So we're going down all these steps to get a better look at it. And I'm wondering if we're gonna regret it, because we're gonna have to go back up these steps. But it's looking all right.
I really saw us being able to go down inside it. You know what I didn't think? There's water there.
Yeah, the only thing
Was I planning on swimming? What was I?
The only thing stopping you from going down in there is you.
Yeah, that's true. And I'd also alert you in hopes that you would help with the kicking. This is, oh no. You came unprepared. All right. How about your punchers? Are they good?
Yeah, punch a bear in the nose.
Yeah, they don't like it in the nose. Oh, we're dead.
Can I ask you a question? What the fuck are those?
I changed my shoes too early. Now I don't want to go on the beach.
I'm gonna go do some beaching.
Okay, I'll watch. Like a good mother. Be careful.
Just the right amount of tone. This path down here is rad because it goes all the way along the coast for like quite a long distance. You could make a day out of hiking along this.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's pretty well maintained. Partially some of it's dirt, but a lot of it is actually concrete, and they put up nice railing and everything.
It looks like you're kind of at an amusement park.
Yes.
And you're in the line and like nobody's in the line, so you're getting really excited to like get on a ride because you're going straight to the front, but really you're just straight to some like random. Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
I'm just really surprised there's a speaker out here. Like, we're out in the middle of nowhere. This isn't like, maybe we are at an amusement park and we just aren't aware of it.
I'm not gonna go to the ride.
But you get to walk along these like beaches and stuff as you're going along. And the whole thing is really picturesque, and something that I've really noticed is the sound, aside from that, of course. That's so Japan. That is
Where's
the most
the ice
Japan
cream
thing.
man?
Yeah. But just hearing the waves and stuff, and they're kind of echoing through the valley and stuff as they like hit against things. And they said that this is made of granite. Isn't that the same thing that made the, like, that came out of the mountains that
It's
made
Grantastic.
Grantastic.
Yeah, Grantastic deposits.
I think if you came here at different times of the day too, you'd get a different treat because you get different light hitting the water in different angles and stuff. And it
I
would
think
be
the
like
main
blue.
draw for people here is to come and see the color of the water at the height of the sun. But at the height of the sun, we were in the dunes.
Yeah.
So we won't get to see it at its epicest in color, but still, it was a very cool walk.
A girl in the guidebook was like, "Pick your favorite boat," like in the water. Because she was saying like a little speech, well, pick your favorite boat. So
yeah,
apparently,
you can take boats out there.
Yeah, you.
Pretty penny for sure.
Well, no. She said like look and find your like. I think what they mean is like.
Oh, just from afar?
Yeah. Find your favorite boat like in the water is kind of what that's how I interpreted that. So I guess maybe you can look at boats too. It's all right.
I don't see any boats.
I don't think we made it up high enough, but now that it's getting dark, I think we should go back up to the car because we have stairs to go up to get there before we become like vulture food.
About 5-10 minutes.
Just about 5-10 minutes. We are doing that thing where the sun has gone down, so it is getting into the evening, and we are now trying to find food. And we are doing that thing where everything is like closed or there's some problem like logistically. We run into this all the time with finding restaurants in Japan. If you go to like a chain restaurant or something, of course you don't have any trouble, but we try to go to places that are like local little joints, right? And like we found this place and it was like a pink curry, and it's like the curry is pink. And we were like, okay, that sounds like something that's interesting. Let's go see if we can check it out. And we called and we didn't get an answer, but the phone acted a little weird.
So we still decided we're just going to make a straight shot there. So we make the straight shot, and then you can't find the restaurant. The GPS, it doesn't know where it is. It took us to the wrong place. So then we found it on Google Maps. Google Maps took us to the right place, but we got there, and it turns out the restaurant itself is actually closed. So that makes sense that nobody's answering the phone. They've got a little sign outside that shows us, like, we have a sister restaurant that you could go to, but the sister restaurant, the address listed on that piece of paper is incorrect. You needed a whole nother set of digits to make that address correct. We did find that on Google Maps, but we realized, like, they're gonna close. So at this point, we're just too late to actually go to that restaurant. I still ended up calling and nobody answered the phone, so we're assuming they're closed. And then we looked at all the other restaurants that look of interest that are in the guidebook. They're all closing or they're too far away. One's still open, little far away. Called it, no one answered.
Nobody answered. This is so common where restaurants in Japan that aren't, like I said, like not chains, they just close kind of randomly when they feel like it. They don't have like a schedule. It's just like, they're just not open today. Yeah, so you have to always call and then hope that the like small number of staff members are able to answer the phone. Like it could be open, but they could just be busy.
Yes.
Like so they could just.
Yeah, but you know, so, I sit in a restaurant all the time, and I never hear the phone just ringing off the hook. So I think people just never call.
I don't know, but it's a constant level, like it's a constant source of frustration for us trying to like hit these restaurants and stuff. And again, like it's 6:49 right now, so like that's not ridiculously late. But these little smaller cities, we're in Tottori City, we're in I think the biggest city in the prefecture, which is it's still a pretty kind of a small place. They close down when the sun goes down, it seems like.
Yeah.
So now we're just kind of like
right now we are hungry.
Yeah.
We have to be at our hotel at 9 o'clock. I just punched in the hotel to find out like what time we would get there, and we'd be getting there around 8:20. So we have about 40 minutes of wiggle room to eat.
And when we go out, there's nothing going to be out near the hotel. I get that.
No, I have no idea. It's a little onsen town.
Okay.
So
That's closed.
There might be a konbini in the area, but you know, I kind of don't want to eat at a konbini.
Yeah, it's more like I want food I can't get in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to our moment of frustration. That's basically what I brought you along for.
And you made a very good point. Like, we like to use as much daylight as possible.
Yeah,
but
and
you
that's
basically have to be going to dinner before the sun goes down to have dinner.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to feel like.
In places that are outside of huge major cities.
We're just slightly off the track of the Japanese tourist.
Yeah, I think so. We have landed in what I am deciding to call Japan world problems, in the sense that we are at a chain restaurant because we knew it would be open, we knew it would have parking, it was reliable, and we were really running out of time. We didn't have time to fuss around trying to find other things.
Oh, yeah.
That perhaps wouldn't be opened or whatever. So we landed on having like the joke about, first world problems. Our Japan world problem is we're grumpy about having to, dang it, eat sushi for really cheap.
Gotta have sushi.
The thing that's a bummer is that this sushi restaurant happens to be in the neighborhood that we live in right now. So like it's not like exotic. We're in an exotic land eating standard foods. So that's what's kind of a bummer about it. But the sushi in itself is kura sushi. It's good. So I've got no real complaints. Of other note, the door has a little thing that you can use to open the door with your foot. I thought that was really fascinating. I haven't seen that before. But we're going to have our last... that guy fell. I think I got that. Maybe I got that on camera. I don't know. We're going to have our last piece, and then we're going to drive out into the woods to go to our hotel and hopefully get there before 9 o'clock.
Hopefully. All day today, Eric and I have been joking about how the roads are crazy in Tottori. Like, we've just noticed that they're squiggly and crazy and whatnot. Dude, there is a freaking loop right here. Are you seeing this loop? I don't know what that means, but we're about to experience it.
This is no joke, man.
Loop it, man.
There's a parking area, and then up we go.
That is how you elevate. You just go in circles until you go up.
We're over it.
And now we're over it. Yep. That's the loop.
Girlfriend, I brought you some tea.
Wow.
And if you're into it, we've got sugar.
That's why your fucking bag is so... It's huge. Your bag is really heavy and it's packed full of sugar. Hold on, how many kilos of sugar is this? This is a half a kilo of sugar.
I wanted a cup of tea.
You put this shit in a bag, we can sell it to someone and rip them off good. Can snorting sugar hurt you?
Yeah, actually, it's not good for your brain, no. That was the smallest one they had at the store that I went to.
You went to like some sort of wholesale place?
I got 10 bags of tea.
And 100 grams of sugar.
How many is it? It's 100 grams.
It's really nice and warm in here. We're finally to our hotel. I think we got here with like 9 minutes to spare, like pulling in the driveway. We did stop to take pictures of stars. So it was a fine leisurely ride to this place.
We're up in the mountains, like...
Yeah, we're kind of on a twisty road, again, the loop. And we got here, outside was pretty nice. They had like lights set up and the parking lot seemed full, so we're being kind of quiet just to not upset any other people that are staying in the hotel. Our room, 2 rooms wide, a nice area for like lounging and doing your computer stuff, and you can see Eric's gotten into doing things. I have completely just vegged out right here. Nothing has happened on this side. I got hit with the sugar. I got smacked with the sugar, but I just sat here. Over here, our beds have already been made, which is kind of nice because sometimes you'll stay in a place like this and you'll still have to put all of the drapings, calling them drapings, on your bedding. But it looks like we can just roll this out and go. And that makes me pretty happy because I don't want to make that. And this room was cheap as hell. Our shower, you notice there's no bathroom in here. It's a shared bath, an onsen, and this is kind of feels like a medium nice ryokan. So I'm hoping that the onsen's gonna be good. I'm gonna go in there and make some friends. Really, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna be very quiet and hope nobody talks to me. Because if they're talking to me, something bad's going down.
Or something really good.
Something really good. Somebody's gonna wash my back.
Who's the Tomby now? Is that you? Are you doing that?
No.
Maybe do some jumping? Is that gonna, are you gonna try this outside to see if it does it when we're out there too?
Yeah. Some sort of like warning system, please don't activate the dunes. It has those little blue pieces in it.
I hope you enjoyed our first day of exploring Tottori. This is when we did the sand dunes and everything. And I wanted to apologize. I know that like you're not supposed to like apologize in the internet or whatever. Like that's like you're not supposed to be a downer. But I want to apologize for the time that it's been since the last video came out. And the reason that that time has been so long is because we moved houses. And we've been really busy and I just haven't had an opportunity to get things finished up, but things are finished up.
Yeah, I was sitting in the other room. We have multiple rooms now. Multiple rooms, wow. I was sitting in the other room and I could hear us talking about something and I was like, that sounds like it's from a long time ago. Like that.
Oh,
that's
the Tottori.
not
Oh, when I was
recent.
editing. Yeah.
So I understand your apology, but life sometimes sometimes just throws crap in the middle of what you wanted to do.
But we're back to a point where I think things should be coming at a normal pace like they used to. It's been a few weeks since I posted a video, so that's like the longest crap of time that we've had in, I don't know, ever. That we've gone without posting something. But we will definitely have some more videos from Tottori coming. I'm actually already working on the next one. We're doing this amazing hike in it. You gotta check this out. It was one of the coolest things we've done.
That's what you were listening to, and I was like, that was a while ago.
And we will also be having some videos about the new house that we are in now, and I plan on making a really extensive video about the costs of what the house costs and what everything was, and like
perhaps you don't know, we bought a house.
Yeah, in Japan, in Tokyo. So there's going to be a whole lot of information about all that coming soon. So that's just like the hype for hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell so you don't miss those videos when they do come out finally.
And then outside of YouTube, you can head over to Facebook, Twitter, other places
Instagram.
On the internet.
Yeah, we've got the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, and then there's a Discord channel we're hanging out in. All that stuff is linked down below. And the other thing that's linked down below, when we came and stayed in this house for the very first night before there was any furniture or anything in it, we did a live stream. And that's over on our other channel, which is kind of like a channel, it's kind of a live stream channel, but kind of like a tidbits channel. And I will link that video down below. If you don't mind subscribing there too, that'd be cool, because I do plan on doing some more like in real life live streaming over there. So it'd be cool if we had like people over there, you got a notification and you could come hang out when we're doing that live stream thing. But if you are curious about the house and you want to get a sneak peek, that's going to be the place to do it, down below, linked in the stuff below. I think it's now. The doobly-doo. Yeah, then the doobly-doo. I think that's trademarked. We're gonna get copyright infringed by the Vlog Brothers. All right, so yeah, coming up soon is going to be a really cool hike.
And this mustache.
Oh yeah. How are you digging it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah?
This is...
You can put it in your nose.
No.
That sound, dude. Katie's got a typewriter.
Okay.
What is the sound?
Is it the phoenix? Yeah, it's sitting on its tail and now it's all fine. When you put it back down on the tail, it's not the phoenix.
You gotta type.
I changed my shoes. That's a rocker.
Oh, it does move a lot.